Bryant. I've been in the renovating game for 18 years. An investor for 15. I have done a total of 36 renovations. I take homes that look like this and turn them into this. Welcome to Catapulting Change. Yo, what's up? It's your boy KB with Catapulting Change Academy. Before we dive in, guys, I want to do a mic check. I want you guys to let me know where you are tuning in from, who you are, and just go ahead and feel free to put some comments in the chat box. Now, once I get started, most cases, I won't respond to those comments until after the call. But feel free to let me know that you can hear me. Feel free to let me know where you're tuning in from, and we'll go ahead and get started, guys. All right. Again, guys, welcome to Wake Up Wednesday. This is your boy KB with Catapulting Change Academy. Today's topic is going to be becoming a person of value. So, guys, this is very important, okay? This is one of the major keys to success. If you do not become a person of value, nobody wants anything to do with you. If you are just wasting your time, wasting your talents, wasting your skills, and you're not really providing any true value to anyone, you're just kind of sitting on the couch, you're just kind of watching life pass you by, you're just kind of, moving along, going with the flow. People can sense this. People can see that you really are not a person of value. So one of the ways to become a person of value, guys, is to get educated. Education is number one, right? So even if you're a high school dropout like myself, I dropped out in ninth grade, started working full time at 15 years old. I have no college degree. I have a lot of education in business entrepreneurship. I've actually spent over $400,000. It's probably more closer to $500,000 now. I got to go back and check that out. These were the numbers, I want to say, about 3 years ago when I had looked at all the data. That's how I became a person of value. Is I went back, I got educated. So I made sure that I was working on my mindset, right? Along with working on my mindset, as I preach to you guys all the time, I worked on my body. That way I can create that unbreakable energy, create that self-confidence, create that strong self-esteem, right? So many times people are going through life and they have such a low self-esteem because of maybe their financial situation, or maybe their physique, or maybe their mindset is just not in the right element, the right form. You know what I'm saying? You have to get your mind right, get your body right, and your pockets will grow exponentially, guys. But you have to become of value. So listen, the value that I bring to the community is not just teaching and educating. I also teach people skills that pays the bills. What do I mean by that? So skills like changing doorknobs, skills like installing drywall, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, doing bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels. I also provide value for people that are looking for business funding, right? So they're looking to get into real estate, or they're looking to start a business. I provide resources for that. I also teach people how to invest. Okay. So I've developed a set of skills that has allowed me to, get that cash flow. But most importantly, it's not just about the cash flow, it's about and reinvesting what you produce over time, right? So many people are always taking the money that they make and they're blowing it, maybe going out to the club, maybe going out to eat, whatever the case may be. And I know you guys are watching me on social media. I'm constantly going out and stuff like that, but that's because that's my season right now. I had to sacrifice for 10, 15 years. I had to become that person of value so that people need me. The reality is people need me. They cannot do the work by themselves. They cannot flip a house by themselves. They cannot find the resources, etc., because I have taken the time over the last decade or more to educate myself, but not just educate myself, to make sure that I implement what I am learning. So, guys, you might have different skills. Let's say you're great at cooking, right? So you're great at cooking, become a value to someone. See, somebody like myself needs food prepping services. I do a lot of food prepping myself, but I also pay people to food prep for me because I simply don't have the time to do that. And it's not necessarily that I don't have the time. It's not my specialty. It's not worth my time. I have other things that I need to be working on. So what I do is I find somebody of value that knows how to cook the way that I need it cooked, you know. So right now, I'm actually back on a very strict diet where I cut out all meats, you know, alcohol, etc. So therefore I need somebody that understands that I'm basically on a vegetarian diet and I'm only eating seafood and vegetables. So that person, you know, becomes of value to me. They end up food prepping for me. It allows me to focus on what I need to focus on. I don't have to go to the store to buy vegetables, to buy, you know, fish, etc. They take care of that for me. But of course, they get paid by me in return because I'm grateful for them, but they're also of value to me. So there's many different ways to become a value, guys. Maybe you're great at, you know, bakery. Maybe you're great at putting furniture together. Maybe you're great at, you know, teaching people how to play Xbox. I don't really know what you're great at because I haven't really had a conversation with each and every one of you, but you have to become a value. You have to develop a set of skills that no one else really has, or that other people are interested in. And once they become interested in, and once you become an authority in the marketplace and you become a value and you start to teach and educate others around you, that's when you get to the whole nother level, guys. So how I've been able to grow is, again, I went and I got the education needed in entrepreneurship, the education needed in construction. I'm a licensed MHIC contractor. I'm a licensed electrician. I'm also been back to school for psychology. I've been back to school for entrepreneurship. I've been back to school for real estate. Again, I haven't pursued those traditional ways. I do things untraditionally because I'm an entrepreneur, but most importantly, it's becoming a value so that you can be able to serve others, to be able to help others. Now, in the beginning stages, guys, if you're just learning what it is your skill or your craft is, so let's just say that, you know, you're a chef, or let's just say that you're a plumber. If you're just now getting into it, you're not of value yet. So one of the other ways to become a value, and I was talking about this on my last call, you know, how to become a walking ATM, is to become a value. You can find someone that is doing what you're doing that interests you and say, hey, look, how can I become of value to you? And they'll say, well, what do you mean? So you have to explain yourself to them. Well, say, look, I know you have a set of skills that I don't quite have right now. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, whether I need to pay you to get the education needed, or if I can work for you for free to help you with your business, with your goals, with your dreams, so that I can gain that same type of value. Now, once you have this type of mindset, guys, and you become of value to someone else, even if you do it for free, even if you do it for little or no money, it doesn't matter. You can't look at everything in life as you're trying to get paid. You have to look at everything in life as, I'm going to become of value to this person or to their community, so that in return, when I finally figure all of this out, I finally get the education needed, I will go ahead and I will become of value to the community, which will allow me to grow, which will allow me to invest more into the community, which will also allow you to bring other people's dreams and goals to life. Guys, don't be that person walking around making excuses about how bad their life sucks, about how nothing is going their way, about how they blame their mom, their sister, their brother, everybody else around them, but at the same time they have no value to offer to the community. You have to become a value, guys. Look, prime example. I actually met with this gentleman on my way back from Vegas. This is an incredible story, by the way. I was coming back from Vegas and I arrived, my flight got canceled actually. So because it got canceled, I had to go to another airline. I had to book the tickets. Um, Gratefully, you know, I have a business card that allows me to go into the concierge service and kind of sit in the lounge and enjoy myself instead of sitting out in the major population where there's so much noise, people doing crazy things, whatever. You get a little more privacy. So I'm grateful I was able to sit there. Long story short, we got on the plane, late around 10, 11 o'clock, and we ended up getting back to Baltimore around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I had to catch an Uber because I didn't drive to the airport. Now, that Uber driver was a value to me. So I had a problem. My problem is I don't have a vehicle there. So I needed someone to drive me. Now, back in the day, you had to take a taxi. Nowadays, you have Uber, you have Lyft, you have all these other places. So, anyways, this person became a value. I'm a very talkative person. So I start to talk to him. He shares his story. I share my story. And then come to find out, he does pressure washing. He also is interested in real estate. He has a group where he's collaborating with, and he's also doing self, inspiration, motivation, and education for himself as well. So, anyways, I explained to him what I do. And what happened was we ended up exchanging information. Why? Because he's of value to me. I can collaborate with him with the pressure washing jobs. I can use him for an Uber um, drive to a location I need to go. He can also help me in the real estate. And then in return, I become a value to him where I teach and educate him, different ways of doing different things as I have the experience, I have the knowledge. So that's what's so important about becoming a value, and not just becoming a value, sharing what your values are. Now, values are very, very important, guys, when it comes to doing business. So, those of you that are interested in becoming entrepreneurs, starting businesses, you better make sure you follow your principles and your values. What do I mean by that? Some of my values in construction is we have to be the best. There is no competing. Straight domination, guys. Well, how do you do that? You have to always focus on becoming better, becoming of value to that person that needs those services. The reality is, we all deserve great things. But if you have a mindset that I'm just here to get this money to secure the bag, then guess what? You're not going to really provide that real true value. That's why it's also important to get yourself into a position where you can really focus on that individual so that you can serve your clients, whether it's for advertising, marketing, construction, real estate. It doesn't really matter what you're doing, guys. You cannot become of true value if you're trying to figure out how you're going to make rent this week, or if you're trying to figure out how you're going to get through that divorce, or if you're trying to figure out what happened to my life. I thought this was my mom. I thought this was my dad, and it turned out that it wasn't. You can't allow those temporary situations to paralyze you so that you can't become of value. You have got to get your mind right. You have got to get your body right. And from there, guys, you will bring massive value to the marketplace. But it's very, very important to focus on you first and foremost. The biggest takeaway I want you to take from this Wake Up Wednesday call is the fact that you have to take care of you first. So those of you that are interested in getting to your fitness goals, starting your business, whatever that may be, today when you get off this call, I don't care that it's Wednesday, guys. It's time to wake up. Yes, it's the middle of the week. Some of you look at it as hump day. I don't care what day it is. I do what I do 7 days a week, 24/7. Look, do I still live a life? Yes, I do. I go out, I spend time with family, I travel to different states, different countries. I live my life to the fullest, but every minute and second of my time is accounted for. Is there times where I sacrifice sleep? Absolutely. Is there times where I sacrifice, you know, me doing this or doing that? Absolutely. But the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur is you have the flexibility to dictate what your day or your schedule looks like, depending on what's most important. And sometimes, look, even though every day I have a very strict schedule, sometimes things are subject to change. And that's okay, guys. Things are changing around us every single day. Whether you like it or not, change is going to happen with or without you, but it doesn't matter. Don't get to the point where you get discouraged where you start to develop this negative mindset and you start to get into a bad place in your life. Don't let yourself go there. What I've noticed, guys, one of the things that has really helped me to stay out of this type of foggy mindset is I stay positive. Look, no matter if something negative happens, someone can come up to me and say, "Hey, Ken, I think you're the ugliest person on earth." The way that I'm going to respond back to that is, "Wow, I really appreciate those kind words and your opinion. I wish for you to have the best and greatest day ever." The normal person would be like, "Yo, what did you say? You want to fight or something?" Like, this ain't the way, guys. I'm trying to tell you. I've been there and I done that. I used to live a negative lifestyle. I used to be the one when you looked at me the wrong way, we were ready to scrap. That's not fun. That is aggravating. That is stressful. This puts you into a negative zone and area. Again, you have to surround yourself with others that are elevating you, that are inspiring you, that are motivating you. Remembering that motivation is garbage, in my opinion, but it is needed, right? It is needed. But you have to get to the point where you motivate yourself and you become disciplined to the point that you don't really need motivation because you're going to do it regardless if you got a flat tire, if you lost, $5,000, if somebody called out in your organization, it doesn't matter. You're going to do it no matter what. You're going to stay positive. You're going to continue to push through the pain, realizing that that pain is temporary. It's not there to last forever. It may last an hour. It may last 5 hours. It might last a day, 2 days. It might even last for a year, guys. Still do what you do no matter what. You cannot allow that negative situation because what will happen is your principles and value will start to go down exponentially, right? You don't want to do that. Once you get that momentum going up, guys, you want to continue to go up. Now, don't get it twisted. You're going to have corrections in the marketplace where it comes back down, but then you're going to go back into an uptrend. Always, no matter what, if you lose money, if you're not able to pay your bills, if your wife, your husband, whatever happens in your life, continue to do what you do no matter what. No one needs to know that. Now, I'm not saying don't share it at all because some people want to vent. But what I would suggest is instead of talking to your family, your friends, talk to a complete stranger or somebody that you see is of influence in that marketplace or in your circle, because when you go and you talk to your friends and your family, they're not going to be able to give you any real value. They may have never been through that situation and really never communicated with someone going through that situation. The right person to talk to actually could be a psychiatrist or someone that interests you. Now, I've been a psychiatrist many a times, guys. I'm past all of that. You got to get to a point in your life where you can figure these things out on your own. You don't need nobody else to help you get through the pain. You need you. But most importantly, you got to get busy now. The most and biggest reason why most people end up sacrificing their values and principles in life is because they're not busy. They get into a point where they sit on the couch, they stay in the car for hours, they're dreading going inside, or they're dreading going to that job, and they're making excuses, they're blaming this person, they're blaming that person. This is not the way, guys. This is not the way at all. You have to continue to push no matter what. When you become of value, focus on getting the education, focus on getting the knowledge, and most importantly, focus on getting that momentum. Once you get that momentum and you start to go up, it's onward and upward from there, no matter what. You hear the term sky is the limit. That is a lie, guys. Space is the limit right now. And who knows? You might even be able to go through there to some other universe and start setting up shop in different planets, etc. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, guys. A lot of these TV shows, a lot of these movies you see, what I've realized over the years is this stuff actually comes into existence. Us as human beings are the most incredible creature on this earth that I know of so far. We have a brain that is so powerful that most people never ever really tap into it. Each and every one of you are smart, beautiful, sexy, intelligent, creative. There's no limit to your success, guys. The only thing limiting you is you. You have got to focus on building yourself up and becoming of value. If I can do it, guys, anyone can do it. Again, at 15 years old, I was facing 30 years in prison for counterfeit money, drug possession. I was told I'd be locked up or dead. I told everybody I'll buy my first house at 19 and be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. I've done all that. Now it's been a very rocky road. I bought the house at 19, but I also lost it by the time I was 24. But the education I have now, I will never ever lose a house again in my life. Why? Because first of all, I have resources. Second of all, I know untraditional methods to avoid foreclosures or loss of properties where I can come in and buy that house from myself under a business name that I already have or one that I can create like this. There's no excuses, guys. There's education, the way that you pay for it, and there's education, the way that you actually do. Now, I've been that guy that, just kind of jumps all in and figures it out on the way down. I recommend that everybody do that because you can sit there and try to be safe. You can sit there and try to be secure. You can sit there and try to say, I have to have this amount of money. I have to have this many years of education. No, you don't. No, you don't. That is just excuses, guys. Most people are constantly making excuses because of the fear that is holding them back from quitting that job or the fear of losing their 401k or the fear of losing health insurance. Who cares, man? Create a health insurance fund. That's what I did. I have a health insurance fund that is also gaining me a percentage every single year. How many of you guys have a health insurance fund that's gaining you a percentage? Most of you guys have a health insurance fund that you pay into and you never see that money again. And you probably don't even use the services that much. I have a separate fund for everything that I do. So, vacation fund, health insurance fund, travel fund, college fund, education fund. The list goes on and on and on, guys. There is no excuses. You have got to stop thinking traditionally. You have got to stop following the media, the news, the traditional systems. Now, I'm not saying school is a waste of time. It's not. It's supposed to give you the basic principles so that when you finish school, you know how to wake up on time, you know how to commit and go there every day, you know how to, focus on your academic, you know how to read, you know how to write. As long as you can learn how to read, write, and research, guys, I promise you, you will be successful. Stop being that person that constantly makes excuses about you don't have the education, you don't know how to read. You know how many people I know around me in my organization, students that constantly tell me that, Ken, I dropped out of high school. I don't know how to read. When I dropped out of high school, I didn't know how to read neither. Matter of fact, I was the one in middle school that used to pay people to do my homework, right? But what that did was that paralyzed me. That wasn't teaching me any thing that I needed to know to become successful. The moment that I picked up a book and I started reading, even though I couldn't read, and on top of that, I have astigmatism. So when I'm reading, like everything comes together and it looks like a bunch of gibberish, it was hard for me. But I did it every day regardless. Not as much at first, I developed that passion as I started to learn. And that's what happens, guys. You might not be passionate about what you're interested in. That's okay. The passion comes from results. We're results driven, but the only way to get results is you have to actually do it. If you don't actually do it, then there is no room for progress. There is no room for results. Does that make sense? So if you want to become a person and understand that the major key to success is becoming of value, but value is not good enough, it's going to take a lot of discipline, sacrifice, and consistency. Once you develop those three things, guys, I promise you, you will get the results that you're looking for. No excuses. All right. I know it's Wednesday, guys, and I know the week probably has been tough. It's been pretty challenging for me so far. It always is when you leave and you go out of town and then you have to come back and grind again. You get to the point where you're like, I just want to do this all the time. But that's why I do what I do. That's the reason why I invest. That's the reason why I'm focused on passive income. That's the reason why I raise private capital so that I can help the community to gain a ROI on their investment exponentially where you can't get these type of returns from the bank, you actually become the bank. And most people think that they can't. Each and every one of you can have your own bank account and investment fund, guys. I'm no CPA or attorney, so don't hold me accountable to any of this. I'm going to give you guys information, and you can go and research, ask those questions to those professionals, but you can literally set up a self-directed IRA or solo 401k under your company name, right? You as an individual, you work for your company, you pay yourself. You contribute a percentage of your income to that self-directed IRA or the solo 401k, and it grows exponentially. You can also take up to 2 loans, in most cases up to 50%. It depends on the actual fund that you set up. And then from there, as long as you pay back interest on top of that loan that you take, now you don't have to pay any taxes on that money. Okay, so that's one of the ways of how you can become the bank. You can use that qualified retirement fund and actually use it to invest into whatever it is you decide to invest in. Some people choose stocks, some people choose Bitcoin, some people choose real estate, some people choose whatever it is they want. Maybe they want to invest into a restaurant, but most importantly, you have to invest. But do not allow the fear of the unknown to restrict you or to hold you back, because that is just an excuse, guys. If you lose your money, so what? Go out there and grind. That's why it's important to develop skills that makes you of value, to where regardless, no matter what happens in life, you can go and make income. But making income is not good enough. I cannot stress that enough. You make income and you put the income, a percentage of it, back to work. Successful people live off of 30% of their income. Okay. The other 70% is being reinvested. So when you invest that other 70%, that's bringing you a, you know, 12%, 16%, 20% ROI, which is very obtainable, guys. There are some cases where I get a 30 to 50% ROI on my money. Why? Because I've mastered the ability of construction, real estate, and I understand all components of my industry. That's why I love it so much. Passion is developed from results. Results are developed by discipline and consistency. If you do not discipline yourself, if you do not get out of that bed, if you do not go to that gym, if you do not invest into that business, if you do not take that vacation, chances are it'll never happen, guys. It's the moment that you book it and you say, you know what? I paid $5,000 for my education. I don't even care about that money. What I care about is figuring out how I can get that money back. So either you got to work more, or maybe you got to make a smart investment. You have to figure that out. But for those of you that aren't sure how to figure it out, that's why you have access to somebody like me or anybody else that you're willing to hire to become your coach or your mentor. For those of you that are stuck, for those of you that can't figure it out, stop making excuses and hire a coach, right? Just so you guys know, my academy I've made affordable for anyone. It's a $4.95 fee right now, $14.95 per month. You're not going to find an educational platform or program out there that is at this rate. Okay, I've paid 30 to 50 to $60,000, and most of those programs that I invested in only taught me one thing. I'm teaching agricultural skills that pays the bills, which is construction, not just how to become an electrician or a one-trick pony, how to do the whole house by yourself. Also, I'm teaching how to invest into real estate, how you can become a wholesaler, how you can flip land, how you can flip houses, how you purchase stocks, Bitcoin, and Forex. Also, if you're interested in investing into passive income, getting those rental properties or those multi units, I teach this as well, guys. And most importantly, I teach how to raise private capital. I have built all my businesses using other people's money, guys. I haven't got one loan from the bank. Now, look, yes, I had to provide a service. Yes, I had to be of value to get other people's money. And I wasn't always able to do that. It took me a while to figure it all out. But once you figure it out, once you get those results, that is where the drive and the passion starts to develop. So, anyways, guys, I know it's Wednesday. Who cares? Do what you do 7 days a week. I don't care if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You hear some people say, oh, I got to take off because of church. You don't have to take off completely, guys. Look, I'm not a religious guy. I believe in God. Even if you go to church, church is for an hour or two. What are you doing with the rest of the day? What are you doing with the rest of the day? Just because you have certain things that you have to do, I'm not knocking that. That is important. It is important for you to take care of yourself. It is important for you to go out there and do things that interest you or inspire you or motivate you. But stop making excuses about what day of the week it is. Do what you do no matter what. Time block and dedicate an hour to your business. Dedicate an hour to your religion. Dedicate an hour to your health. Dedicate an hour to cooking meals for your family. Dedicate that time that is necessary. You should have zero time left over. You should be waking up and grinding to the point when you get home, it's time to take a shower and go to bed. And maybe you only get 4 or 5 hours sleep each day. That's okay too. You have to be willing to sacrifice and do whatever it takes, no matter what, guys. Look, I hope you guys enjoyed this Wake Up Wednesday call. Stay tuned for Wake Up Wednesday every single week. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the year, for the rest of my life, no matter what. This is a free call to inspire you, to motivate you, to elevate you. Now, remember, motivation is garbage. It will get you excited, it will get you pumped up, it might even push you through the week, but it's you that dictates your results. So after I get off this call, man, don't go back to crying, complaining. Don't go back to making excuses, blaming your girl, your husband, your wife, your kids. None of that. Get inside your head, figure it out, and do whatever it takes. Until next time, guys, remember life is great. Don't be scared. Let's go.